Here's how I make a fishing kit entirely from natural materials that actually works. The style of hook we're using, it's not really a hook, it's called a gorge. Oftentimes when you're wandering through the woods, you can find old sun-bleached bones that are splintering apart. That's the perfect material for this. You can break off some of those splinters, sand them down on stones using a bit of water and sand, and shape them to make this little spike shape. Just a point on each side, maybe just over 3/8 of an inch long. Perfect. Now this needs a groove in the center so I can tie the fishing line to it. Make sure that groove rings all the way around. That way when you tie this onto your line, it's not going to slip out. A gorge like this acts more like an anchor than a fish hook. Fish don't chew, they swallow bait whole. So if I put a cricket or a piece of worm on this gorge and set the line out in the water long enough, a fish is going to come along, eat the bait, swallow it all, and this will get lodged in the fish's stomach and be unable to pull out. No need to set the hook. You can make dozens of these from a single bone. Set out a dozen fishing lines, check all of them in the morning, and collect your catch. Then use bits from those fish you catch as bait to catch more fish. Then you have a semi-automated primitive food production system. If you don't have bone on hand, in a pinch you can use a piece of hardwood, or better than that, use a thorn from a species like hawthorn or Russian olive. All those materials work, but bone is the longest lasting and plentiful if you know where to look. This will be a dogbane fishing line. Dogbane is incredibly strong even when it's thin, and fairly easy to process a whole bunch of it, so in a short time I can have a 30-foot fishing line. I don't want any part of this fishing line thicker than this, so do my best to make it nice and even. 1, 2, almost 3. That's about 16 feet of cord. Now we'll splice in some extra thin cordage for the last 4 feet or so. That's going to be our leader, what we tie the gorge onto. The rest of this cordage is thicker, so it's strong enough to pull through snags. If the leader gets snagged on something, I want that to break because I can quickly make a new leader. But it will still have plenty of strength to pull up a fish. Here's our end of it. We'll tie a knot in the end here, cut off the excess. Truthfully, I got a little ahead of myself and forgot to start the leader as the end of the fishing line. So now I'm just gonna have to tie it on because I don't know of a good way to splice it once it's already made. A little square knot should do the trick just fine. Trim off any bits you have hanging off from splicing. Now we tie the gorge on, find some bait, add a little sinker, and we're ready to fish. Easiest way I've found to attach a gorge, slip it through the very end of the line where you have your first twist. Now unravel this a bit and tuck it through just like this. That way the loop is doubled on itself, and wrap it back together tightly. If you did your groove right, this will only come off if the string actually breaks. To make a sinker, just peel a bit of willow bark, find a small roundish stone, cradle it with that bark a couple of times, and tie some dogbane fiber around the top, and leave a little excess so you can tie it to your string. So now our fishing kit is done. We just got to find some bait.